Even the experts don't know. As we all grew tired of hearing in 2020, this situation is unprecedented. Unless it isn't. Here's the thing though. 1926 is only 100 years ago. In terms of human history, the 40-hour work week and the Sunday scaries are brand new. Hello. Oh my god. Every time I do this, I feel so awkward, you know? I'm just like, I forget how to do it all over again. Anyway, hello. Today is the day we are going to make some vegan mac and cheese. Hello, I'm Kira. I'm a vegan, and my favorite thing to eat is mac and cheese. Which sounds crazy. What it really means is that I have spent a bunch of time perfecting a recipe for vegan mac and cheese that I like, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So here we go. The first thing we need to do is always get a pan, get our pasta going. So this is a fusilli. I don't think that's how you actually say that, but that's how I'm gonna say it. It is a bronze cut one, which is the alternative to being Teflon cut. It looks kind of fancy. I got it from Walmart. It's not that fancy. Okay, you can use tap water. I am gonna use filtered water because my water's a little sus here. But if you trust your water, you can use tap water. Honestly, I mean, this is the part where you cook pasta. So if you don't know how to do that part, I don't really know what to tell you. Importantly though, we do put salt in there. And just like, I don't know, kind of a lot. And then I like to put the lid on so it'll boil faster. Turn the heat all the way up. And now we wait. We just wait patiently forever and ever and ever. Anyway, while we're waiting, I figure I could tell you about this hedgehog. He showed up in the mail yesterday. My mom sent him to me, but he has a little magnet, so he sits on your shoulder, which I think is hilarious. So now I have a hedgehog friend. Okay, while we're waiting for this water to boil, I figure we could look at the rest of our ingredients. Why not? So, got some olive oil. This is almost gone. I don't know if that's actually gonna be enough. I also have a little bit of this fancy one. I might have to use some of this. Just extra virgin olive oil. Came from the grocery store. All my stuff came from the grocery store pretty much. I don't know why I'm telling you that. We've got nutritional yeast. This is kind of what gives the cheese flavor. It's very important in a lot of vegan cooking, vegan sauces. If you want that cheesy flavor, you want this guy. And as a bonus, it has B vitamins. Got some oat milk. I have found, at first when I first became vegan, I thought almond milk would be the ideal mac and cheese milk or cashew milk. Oat milk gets creamier. It makes a better creamy texture. And this is like the barista lovers. Barista lovers makes even better creamy texture if you're looking for which oat milk. So this is good. Barista lovers oat milk. Okay, this is an important ingredient. This is the weird one that didn't come from the store. So this is coconut yogurt, and this is homemade. I made it myself. I could make a video about how I make this if anyone is interested in that. But anyway, this is coconut yogurt. You would think it would be too sweet and coconutty for mac and cheese, and I found coconut milk is, but coconut yogurt, because of all the yogurt bacteria, is tangier. So it is actually a really good flavor for mac and cheese. I sometimes also make this with hummus. It just kind of depends what I have on hand. So right now I don't have any hummus. I ate it all. I have this yogurt that needs to get used up. I'm gonna use this. I probably, they're slightly different, but I like both. Hummus is good, vegan yogurt is good. I'm gonna use vegan yogurt today. And this is basically, it makes it creamier. It gives it more of that creamy texture. Oh, water is boiling. Time to put the pasta in. I'm gonna put in about half of this pasta because it's more pasta than I actually need. And now I'm gonna wait till it starts acting like it's gonna boil over, because I feel like once it really hits that boil, the pasta will cook better, but then it might actually boil over. I risk my life every time I make pasta. Could have turned that on from the beginning. That's okay. Ooh, don't boil over. No. Okay. At this point, you should set a timer if you're a timer person for your pasta. I don't like having a timer tell me what to do. And I've been this way my whole life. I first started making pasta when I was like 8, 9, 10. So we've been doing this for at least 17 years. That's crazy. So old. Anyway, we've been doing this for at least 17 years, and it's been working the whole time. Okay. Hey, don't fall down, buddy. I will, when the pasta starts to seem like it's getting close already, take some out and eat it and see if it's done. And if it's not done, it'll keep cooking. And if it's done, then we'll strain it. If that gives you anxiety, set a timer. So the olive oil, the reason we use olive oil is it gives it a fat to grab onto. So this is kind of cooking chemistry. If you're trying to make like a cream sauce, what you want to do is start with a fat, and then you put in the milk, and then you put in, traditionally you would put in like flour, but for this I don't put in flour. I feel like there's already like enough flour and gluten, etc. in the pasta. So I put in the nutritional yeast and all the seasonings, and it kind of takes that spot. It doesn't quite do the sauce as well as the flour does, but that's why then I also add the hummus or the vegan yogurt, and that makes it get creamy. So you want to have some sort of oil. So if you didn't have olive oil, you could use a different oil. You could use like vegan butter. I like the flavor of olive oil better than the flavor of vegan butter. I found this out when I was making box vegan mac and cheese. It's that green, like Vegan is Believin' by Goodles. That one's really good. Anyway, I was making that and I didn't have any vegan butter, so I used olive oil instead, and I was like, this is high key better. I like it better. So anyway, there's options. Same thing with the oat milk. I like the oat milk best, but you could use a different vegan milk if you didn't have the oat milk. I've been learning recently, and some of you are gonna be like, that's crazy, and some of you are gonna be like, yeah, everybody already knew that. But I've been learning recently that cooking is just kind of like, if you don't have the thing you need, you just like think like, what's kind of similar? What would kind of be the same thing, but like not the same thing, and just use what you have. And it's usually fine. It's usually fine, which is crazy because I used to feel like it was like life or death. It had to be measured exactly like the recipe, and it isn't. It doesn't really matter. I like to I have some onion powder, and it likes to like to hit it to get it to work. I don't know what its deal is. Have some onion powder. I have some garlic powder. Try not to put too much garlic powder. This is the only one that like if you put too much, it is kind of not great in this. I like to put some turmeric, mostly for color, but a little bit flavor, I guess. Put that in there. And then I put some smoked paprika, and I put some chili powder, which maybe sounds crazy, but it's not crazy. It's good, I promise. I was inspired for the chili powder by one time in New York. I was like walking around in a bodega looking for a snack with one of my cousins, and she was all like, I want to make chili mac. And then in the end, she didn't, because I think the chili was expensive, the mac and cheese was expensive, everything was, I mean, it was New York. It was all expensive. We got something really cheap and then went home and ate it because we didn't have any money because we were living in New York. But anyway, the point of this story is I think about that sometimes. I've never made mac and cheese with chili in it. It doesn't appeal to me for whatever reason, but I was like, there's gotta be something to it. Like my cousin likes it so much she was sad that it was expensive. There's gotta be something to it. So I tried this chili powder in my mac and cheese. It's pretty good. And then lastly, a little bit of black pepper, not too much. I don't want like black pepper flavored mac and cheese, but a little bit of black pepper. Okay. Okay, so Kraft mac and cheese, I want to make the sauce without the noodles in the pan. So I'm going to set the noodles aside. This burner is not on. Don't put ceramics on burners that are on. Anyway, I'm going to set the noodles aside over here. And this is the bowl I'm going to eat out of. I'm just trying to reduce dishes. Okay, apologies for the bizarre angle. My tripod is like balanced on top of the fridge. I did my best. Okay, let's make this mac and cheese sauce. So I got my stove on like low. Gonna put some olive oil in there. That is not gonna quite be enough, so we're gonna have to use a little bit of this one too. That's about enough. I don't measure this. I don't know. It's a little different every time, but it's never bad. Okay, next we're gonna put our oat milk, which this pan is a little bit too hot because it was sitting on the burner while I was climbing on the fridge to get this camera angle. So apologies for that. If you want this to turn out perfect, maybe don't climb on the fridge while you're in the middle of cooking. Yeah. So it should look like almost frothy a little bit like this. That's exactly what it should look like. I might do a tiny bit more oat milk. And this would be the same thing if you were going to use like vegan butter, you just would wait for it to melt before you put the oat milk in. Because the milk is cold, so it'll make it not melt as fast. Okay, nutritional yeast, I'm going to put like a lot of nutritional yeast. Okay. Stir that in. Sometimes I stir in between different things. Sometimes I dump them all in and then stir. It's the wild, wild west out here. Okay, garlic powder. Try not to do too much. One time I made it like really garlic flavored and it wasn't that good. I didn't like it. Onion powder, you want quite a bit. Okay. And then the turmeric. That. Paprika. More paprika, please. Come on. Okay. And then chili powder. Kind of a lot of that too. We're not trying to have bland mac and cheese. One of my students accused me of only using salt and pepper when I cook, which was in fact racial stereotyping. Anyway, it's also not true. I think people who are only using salt and pepper to cook are relying on the flavor of meat to season their food at all. So if you're a vegan, you only use salt and pepper, you're just gonna feel like you're eating raw vegetables all the time, like a cow, you know? Yes, that smells good. Okay, then we're gonna put our vegan yogurt now. I might have put a little bit too much oat milk. Maybe I should have stuck with the original amount. Anyway, this yogurt gets pretty solid in the fridge. And it would go to like a more normal yogurt texture if I stirred it, but I'm not gonna bother due to the fact that I'm just putting it in the sauce, so it doesn't really, it's gonna just melt in there anyway. I usually put like, I don't know, 2 kind of big scoops. Okay. Can't be wasting good yogurt. Worked too hard for this to waste any. Okay. This will both kind of lighten the color to more of a mac and cheese color, but also make the texture good and creamy. I will say, if you were going to use like a store-bought vegan yogurt, you want to make sure it's one that's not excessively sweet. And some of them are really pretty sweet, even if it's like not a sweetened one. So that is something to watch out for. This one that I have is not sweet, really. It's like really a tangy flavor, not a sweet flavor. Okay, once you got the sauce ready here, the yogurt's kind of like all dissolved in. You're gonna put your pasta back in the sauce. Stir it around. Get the pasta all evenly coated in sauce. My sauce is a little bit thin because I put too much oat milk. So we're gonna let this sit here for a minute and simmer a little bit of sauce off. While we're here, I realized that I washed my cast iron. It's been over here on the stove on low drying. I forgot about it. I gotta put some oil on it, keep it seasoned. For the cast iron, I usually use the avocado oil because it has a higher smoke point, so I think it's better for seasoning. I don't have any proof of this, that's just my thinking. I am risking burning myself right now, but hopefully I won't burn myself. That's also just my thinking. Now I have a little bit more oil than I actually wanted. Don't touch cast iron that's on the stove. That's not smart. Maybe I'll try to do this so that you can actually see it. That might be what I'm supposed to do. Look at that. I'm excited to eat it.